And we'll move away from that, but still on court matters. The Federal High Court in Abuja, presided over by Justice Binta Nyako, has issued a restraining order preventing all parties involved in the legal challenge over Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension from making public statements or media appearances. The case, which was reassigned to Justice Nyako after Justice Uguatu's reclusal, had its first mention today. Lawyers representing both sides were present, and Justice Nyako ordered or filed applications to be reviewed before the next hearing. The court also directed that preliminary objection and the main suit be heard together at the next session. The restriction extends to all parties, including legal representatives and media commentators. The case will resume on May 12, 2025 for hearings, with a judgment date to follow. And now to help us dive deeper, but this time into the Labour Party's legal matters, we're joined by Evans Ufeli. He's a lawyer and public affairs analyst, joins us live from Lagos. You're back home, Mr. Ufeli. Let's just get started, shall we? Now, while the party claims the Supreme Court stated only political parties can determine their leaders, the initial report suggests that the court found the appeal by Senator Usman meritorious. Can you clarify the specific grounds on which the Supreme Court ruled?
Well, the grounds on which the Supreme Court ruled was that the case of Abure itself, his tenure of office had long expired, and that he is no longer the chairman of the Labour Party, given the circumstances of that case. And that the Court of Appeal have no jurisdiction to even determine the case in the first place. Okay? Mm-hmm. So with those twin barrel pronouncements, Abure is off the game. And that when the court said that your appeal have succeeded, what it means is that the adverse party is out. So the party will have to come up with its own method of selecting its leaders to get a leader for the party through their convention and the rest of that. That is exactly what will happen in the case under reference. The reason the Supreme Court didn't go further to tell them what to do is also because it is not the responsibility of the court to tell a political party how to manage its leadership. You see, in the wisdom of the Supreme Court, Julius said that the appeal by Nenadi Usman hereby succeeds. Okay? What it means is that she has pulled through in the case under reference, and the political party will take up from there to do the needful. But Abure can never, because this is the Supreme Court, Abure can never feature in this whole fry again as the chairman of the Labour Party.
All right. Now, if the Supreme Court indeed stated that the trial court should not have more pronouncements on leadership, on party leaderships, does the Labour Party believe the initial legal challenge to Mr. Abure's chairmanship was illegitimate from the outset?
I didn't get that question.
I'm going to ask that question again. Now, I'm asking, just giving if the Supreme Court indeed stated that the trial court should not have made pronouncements on party leadership, does the Labour Party believe the initial legal challenge to Mr. Abure's chairmanship was illegitimate from the onset?
Well, they did contest it now. That was why they even went to court in the first place. Okay? They had this convention that was organized by Abure, for which the other party members contended. You remember in Abia, where the state governor, because he's the only governor of that party, had come together with some other members that led to the emergence of Nenadi Usman to resolve the issue. And the litigation continued okay? Then the Court of Appeal had ruled that Abure is the substantive chairman of the Labour Party. And so no other person should contend that position.
Right. Now,
The Supreme Court, he had his own followers. The Abure had his own followers then, and there were others, decent voices too, many of them, of which Peter Obi was one of the decent voices. Okay. Now, after the Court of Appeal made that pronouncement, they went on appeal. Okay. They went on appeal, and the appeal to the Supreme Court, we just got the judgment today, and the Supreme Court is saying that the Court of Appeal has no jurisdiction whatsoever, and that besides that, Abure's tenure of office have expired.
Right. Now, given the Supreme Court stance on internal party affairs, what steps will the Labour Party take to ensure future leadership disputes are resolved internally and not through the courts?
Yes, it's for the party National Working Committee and the elders of the party to ensure that they resolve their dispute internally. Okay. Remember, before the emergence of this, there was the one between Lamidi Apapa and Abure that trailed the party for over 4 years, four years or thereabouts, before that was technically resolved, before they resumed another crisis. And then people have said that this party is even too small. The problem in it is even bigger than the party itself because of the way Peter Obi had joined that party and made it very popular. So the elders of that party, the National Working Committee of that party, they must be strategic. They must find ways to resolve their issues internally so that the party can grow and make headway. The problems they create for themselves and this battle for supremacy and leadership is one that even discourages the general electors. That if they are not able to put that party together, how would they deliver if they are brought to the center? For example, they win the election at the center. The only governor they have, they are supposed to be encouraged to get more seats and capture more states. Okay, they have a lot of lawmakers and they have one governor. That is not a bad outing. I mean, the last election. So they should have built on that. By now, they should have a formidable front to go into the next election and get more governors, more lawmakers, and perhaps claim the center. That is what they are supposed to do. Nigerians are looking for an alternative party that will deliver, an alternative party that will bring succor to them, since the major political parties have failed woefully. So I don't know why they are not taking advantage of that window.
All right.
And they keep battling within themselves and all that.
All right. I must say thank you so much for taking out the time to join us, Evans Ufeli, legal practitioner and public affairs analyst, giving us a bit of insight on the judgment ruling on Labour Party's leadership.